All right, we got a poll question today. I teased it a little bit earlier. We'll see if you agree or disagree with us. Has Tennessee done enough in the transfer portal? You got three options. One, yes, they've made good additions. 13% have gone online and already done that. 0% says yes, it's part of their long-term plan, which is actually kind of where I would think if there is a yes, that would be it, because it's Heupel's roster building. Or no, need more help. That's 87%. And I guess the fact that we all said no kind of undercut any kind of debate here. But you can tell us if we're wrong. Are we just being negative? Get on there and click. You just see that QR code. Use your smartphone right there underneath the Hearthside Bank logo. Click away and tell us. Or you can go to sportsource.tv/polls and vote there. All right. Let's take a look at a little graphic here. I thought this was fun. Tell us how you really feel. This is from the website Bama Hammer. And they say Greg Sankey should kick the Tennessee Volunteers out of the SEC. Man, the whole gist here is if the Tennessee program intends to avoid all efforts of control coming from the expected House settlement, the SEC should show them the door. The Tennessee State Legislature expanded its previous rejection of any oversight by the NCAA in regards to NIL, player payments, and roster sizes. My favorite part is when you get down into it, it says, Vandy would also have to be put on notice, though that program only is guilty by association. It's like, oh, okay. So apparently Tennessee is running this whole thing, and Vandy's just along for the ride. At any rate, and before we laugh too much at Alabama fans who are losing their minds, if you flip this, if the Alabama legislature had been the one to do it, I guarantee you there would have been a Tennessee website somewhere saying, throw them out of the league for this. But my question here is simple. There have been a lot of schools and a lot of people. They're all going to come out now and say, oh, well, we knew this wasn't going to work. Somebody's been spending a whole lot of hours on this thing. Whole lot of hours on this House settlement.
Billable hours.
There you go. Been spending a whole lot of money on it, too. Is Tennessee the villain to some now? Because the state has been the one that just kind of threw the monkey wrench in the whole thing before it launches. And we can sit there and say, well, somebody else was going to do it. Okay, but you did it. Is the state kind of, are people around college football world, are there any that are going to be saying, dadgummit, we've been working on this, think you at least get it launched? Or no? Is everybody, not a big deal?
I think foolishly, yes. I think it's a wrong move to blame Tennessee for this, but I think for many in the SEC offices, I do think they thought we could at least for a year slide this through and then we can build on the groundwork and the framework of what this is. And the fact that it's blowing it up ahead of time, I think, yes. I think to fans, no. To media members, no. But to some of the SEC office and some in power conference offices, yes. I do think that they are frustrated with the state of Tennessee right now.
I do too, and I also think you go back to the judge that said there should be no guardrails on NIL. So that was another one where people look at Tennessee. And then, of course, there have been some baseball flips along the way that have gotten Tennessee attention. Yeah, I do think Tennessee comes out as a bit of a villain on this because they're the leader in this group and go in that direction. And I'm also reminded that it was about 5 years ago, there was a special NCAA committee, and I actually got the 33-page report of them submitting, this is how we need to handle NIL and all this other stuff. And the NCAA attorney shot it down because they said it would not stand up in court. And now we're going to a House settlement that likely will not stand up in court.
Well, it's ironic that the NCAA was going down this path, now they're over here. Same thing happened with Tennessee. Tennessee and so many other schools were saying, give us rules on NIL, give us laws on NIL, help us with NIL. And they came back and said, okay, here's the rules, and you broke them. We're suing. So, I mean, everybody started here, and now they're over here, and maybe they've crossed, you know what I'm saying? They're in different spots from where they started. It is remarkable to me. Ryan, would it have been better off to just say, let it get out? Would the whole thing have been better off if you had made the House settlement and then they corrected it down the road as lawsuits came, as they try to fix it down the road? Would that have been better than taking it down before it even gets out of the chute? Or no?
Maybe.
It's doomed anyway.
Maybe. It was probably, I mean, to Will's point, there were other states working on the same thing, so you still may have it go into effect and it just not apply everywhere. And that's just going to make people more eager.
That's just useless.
It's going to make people more eager to, hey, let's find an actual fix for this, which is make them employees. I keep hoping against hope that some college athletic directors and head coaches are going to start to take the lead on this and say, we need to make them employees. And I know it's going to hurt us financially, but we shouldn't care because it's making all of our lives miserable to have it this way. So there is no solution. I mean, what do you do? It's all going to be, you're poking holes in all of it until you make them employees. So it's going to be uneven across the board. Every state's laws matter because that's how it has to be brought into effect. And so there are going to be 12 different states with 12 different laws on all this stuff. I want to take a second to poke a ton of holes in this column, though, because this Alabama thing is ridiculous.
Of course.
First of all, Alabama fans, you have to realize how they look at NIL. It took down Nick Saban. It's taken them down to 9 wins last year. They think NIL is the root of everything wrong with college football, and they think Tennessee is one of the poster childs of children of this era. So they think it's awful and needs to go away, and back to the old system where we were good. That's how they look at it. So of course they want this.
Well, the same website had a line in there that said, now maybe Nick Saban can fix all this with the Presidential Commission, but and literally it was like, oh, now Nick Saban, our hero, he can fix the whole thing. It's just laughable. Go read it. It's Bama Hammer.
Yeah.
Again, though, I laugh at it. I brought it up here. I'm just saying, flip it. This fan base would be the one acting like they've done something horrific.
The difference, though, is Tennessee fans have no reason to hate NIL at its core. Alabama fans do.
I got that. I just think that fans, though, they hate it because it's Tennessee. If this were Kentucky, I don't know that Bama Hammer would be losing their mind over it as much as it is that it's Tennessee.
Yeah.
Who's beaten you 2 of the last
I was
3
going to
years.
say, or if they beat
Dixie.
Tennessee all three years, they would have not had a problem with this.
I think that had something to do with the upset feelings down in the Yellowhammer State.
On a side note, I love when this rivalry is good because stuff like this happens. The subpoena thing with Fulmer 20 years ago.
Speaking into a speaker box.
Yeah, I'm
like
so
like
glad
Charlie's
this rivalry.
Angels.
So glad this rivalry is relevant again.